8:30.
Plugging in my light. It's not 8:30 yet. Got on my Swiss time. 8:30.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another live stream from the Cool Guys Nation. So far tonight, it is myself, Big Aaron, and Josh. We're waiting for the Sean to arrive. I assume he's too busy playing with his Dark Angels and just laughing at about how good they are. And he's just lost track of time. Tonight, I'm going to be working on my Primaris Tech Marine and my Hammerfall Bunker, so welcome to another edition of Aaron Screws Up Building Warhammer.
Something's gonna get glued to something at some point.
Yeah, that's for sure. Josh, you got some MCP?
Yes, that's right. Football, huh? Are you painting tonight? I'm not painting buildings. Oh, building. No, I'm not allowed to paint M3.
No, he's not. Now, if you were painting something like Space Marines, where you had 5 to 50 of them to paint, then you could paint some of them on stream, and you could paint one off stream. But
Oh, isn't that too bad that I get to enjoy my painting instead?
yeah, wow, wow, right out the
I'm
gate.
sweating right now.
Right out the gate. Oh, you guys like that sweet forearm that I'm giving you? Sorry, I needed my clippers.
Sweet forearm.
I needed my clippers. Okay, let's just make sure. All right, I'm in frame. So, um, there's 1,000,000 pounds of snow outside.
Yeah. Here in Chicago, it is snow central. It is snow joke.
Oh,
We were talking about the snow, and I forgot to tell you the funniest thing.
okay.
So I went out with my son to build a snowman because that's what you do in the snow
Right.
when it's snowing.
Right.
So we go out there and start making a snowman. He's like, I don't want to make a snowman anymore. And we've already kind of started. I'm like, well, what are we going to do? And he's like, let's make a volcano. I'm like, okay. So we start building a volcano, and then he has to find sticks to have shooting out of it. And then he's like, now we need to build a fort around it. So we built a fort around a volcano, and I was like, is he like secretly like one of those like Austin Power evil genius building shit?
He's
And he
That's what's
built a
going on.
lair with me?
yeah. I mean that's where it's at. My freshman year of art school, the fashion department decided to do like this giant woven basket outside, um, like huge. And they were working on it and they were weaving it upside down, so it was like a big dome. And then we got a Kansas City got hit by a huge ice storm and the whole thing just froze. And so we literally had like a giant outside, you know, little fort, giant fort to go hang out in all winter because it was wood reinforced uh, with ice. So I think your child should go to art school.
Or become an evil genius.
Yeah, either way.
Either way. So this week I am starting to put down paint for the first time, kind of, on worlders that I built.
Very cool.
I tested multiple color schemes. The paint passed me. I think I've settled on one.
You have not settled on one.
I think I have.
Oh, you have settled.
Yeah. So black white zenithal highlight, with flesh tears, red contrast over that, and then black shoulder pads over the other. Fairly classic, but it was all like it was all playing around with what red I was going to paint them.
Black
I
shoulder
did
pads.
contrast over silver, and that looked pretty
Oh,
good, but I realized like for some reason it still ended up looking dull. I tried the good old fashioned Tamiya red. Didn't like that.
really?
Yeah, yeah. So I decided to play around a whole bunch with the contrast, and I think I like it. I'm gonna like try and finish just one guy completely
So what did you settle on? Contrast over.
over just zenithal.
Oh,
But I did a satin coat, gloss coat over the zenithal so that the contrast was a little bit better.
And by flow, you mean like it is a more consistent finish?
And it has a little bit better capstone.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, I have been mentally prepping myself and a little bit of actually prepping um, to get all of the Spas Marines done, but I have a problem. So the purple that I used was the brand of airbrush paint that I can't get, and the other Space Marines um, were the purple over black, and then with a zenithal of a custom made pink, which I still have. Um, but this new purple that I have from Game Air does not cover over black. Like it's too thin. Uh, but it covers over white really really well. And I learned that when I did the crystals. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to get some test models and try to figure out like some balance.
Scale 75 you can't use?
The scale 75. What does that mean?
What's wrong with the purples that you can't get it anymore?
Oh, it's the miniature purple.
And they don't make it anymore?
It's just not out of stock when whatever it was a couple weeks ago when I was looking for airbrush paint. It was out of stock everywhere.
Huh. I mean, I
Uh,
would hold out till I could get that in stock, honestly.
Yeah,
You don't want to.
it's miniature, right? So isn't that? Oh wait, no. I was thinking of Stalin.
Miniature's Badger.
Miniature is Badger. Okay. I was thinking Monument. Snizzle, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys?
hey.
It's probably here in Illinois
Well,
because Badger's here in Illinois.
I gotta find it then. I,
Call them up and be like, "Yo, they're out in
I
You're not too far from there, right?"
don't mess with trying to color match and that stuff. It's gonna jack up your army. That's all I'm telling you.
okay, fine.
Have some patience.
Fine. I'll have patience.
Did you scour eBay and all that stuff already?
I did not scour eBay. I did not. For some reason, like I when I when I think when I think of buying paint, I don't think of hey, I should go to a place that sells used things.
That's like probably the best place to get paint online sometimes.
Really?
Yes.
Uh huh. That's
Y'all,
where I buy all my spray paint usually.
how? Why do people sell spray? I don't understand.
Well, you can't get it in Chicago, so they just ran that distribution.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. That I understand. But like, you go to eBay to buy your Games Workshop paints?
Depends. Sometimes, like a lot of times, they're like 30% more than if I just go to the store. But if
Hmm.
I make it to the store, then
Hmm.
yeah,
I did.
usually
I called a bunch of local gaming stores. I went to a bunch of different hobby websites. I obviously did the Amazons. Um,
eBay is just like
but
Amazon, but with also used stuff.
I did not check eBay. So,
Basically, if you can get it on Amazon, you can find the exact same product on eBay.
well, I think there's also a bottle left in the studio. Maybe. I just want everybody to know. I'm on page 2. I'm on of I don't know how many of. I'm just saying I'm
Hey,
on
can we?
I'm on page 2. I'm on step 6 and I haven't screwed it up yet. Not like last week where I screwed it up.
You really did.
Yes.
Step 1, 2 brewing. I remember that. They used to do that in high school too. Step 1, step 2 brewing.
So,
What happened with TikTok? How did that happen?
how did I like go from all right, so first of all, um before we get into TikTok, I want to talk about Sergeant Ripper. We do have the Sergeant Ripper giveaway going out, and there are going to be 3 ways to get your name entered to win the Sergeant Ripper. Way number 1, find the video that's already posted about the Sergeant Ripper giveaway, comment and like that video. Way number 2, wait for February 14th, where I will be posting another video before the live giveaway drawing, where you can also comment and like to be entered a second time.
February 14th is a date you can't forget.
Because it's Valentine's Day, and when you look at our metrics, we have 100% male viewers, which makes me really upset with Miranda because she doesn't watch our channel. So essentially what I'm saying is that I'm giving away a female model on Valentine's Day to our male audience. But the third way that you can enter is by subscribing to, you have to actually subscribe to the CGN TikTok.
CGN TikTok.
And there's a CGN TikTok as of like 4 days ago.
Well, what's the name of it?
It is called cgn.battle.brothers.
There's a lot of dots. Can we use all those dots?
They don't allow spaces and stuff. They don't allow spaces. Yeah, I don't, like, people in my household have been on TikTok a lot, and
Your son a TikTok star? Is that what you're saying?
no, he's
Talking in the third person.
no,
The royal was. Okay, what's happening right now?
my wife, my wife, watches TikTok. Um, I don't know. I just was like, I just started. I actually had made a bunch of like TikTok cooking videos, or I made a bunch of videos that I had planned on making into TikToks a long time ago. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll just try it out. And lo and behold, they got pretty good traction immediately. So, and then I was talking to Dave, and Dave has been doing a lot of stuff with TikTok for mini wargaming, and they just crossed the 1,000 subscriber mark on TikTok, which is an important mark because that's when you can start monetizing and going live and doing other things. Yeah, so it's just another outlet. So I've been making some original content. I've been taking some of our old content and cutting it up. There's also a whole bunch of challenges and stuff, and so I think I'm going to try to start a TikTok challenge. And Josh doesn't think it's possible, and that's fine. Where uh, the challenge, because a TikTok video can be up to 60 seconds, right? It's going to be, can you paint an entire model in 60 seconds? And the way that I imagine doing it is like, this is all inspired by you, Aaron. This is all because of your green brushes. So you can't see it, but I'm laying down the green brushes. So it'd be like, I would lay down, let's say I was going to do 5 colors, right? So I'd lay down my 5 brushes, right? And then 5 little pots of paint. And so there's no dipping into water. There's no time for that, right? It's just one color, one brush, throw the brush over your shoulder, move to the next color, and see if you can paint an entire model in 60 seconds as a TikTok challenge. Probably using, well, I disagree with you. So we'll see.
Who's gonna do this challenge again?
Well, I'm going to do it first
Okay, to see if it's possible.
to see if it's possible,
And when it's not,
then give up on it.
okay, I like it. I'm happy to be a part of it, guys.
But it's actually gonna happen, and then I'll submit the video, and I'll give it to our other channel friends and challenge them to do it, and then you'll see how right I was.
I actually didn't say it's impossible. I said, what would I use?
Um, uh, not not
Your cow said
paint, the one that needs paint thinner, real paint,
Oil paint.
oil paint.
I would try it with.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it also, uh, like you have to like here. Okay, obviously there's certain caveats, right? Like priming it is not part of it. You know what I mean? You get to start with a primed model. You know, I mean you have to start with that at least.
Could
Um,
you maybe use one of those the new bones? Yeah, bones, but the black ones that are come pre-primed.
sure, whatever.
Oh,
You could just you start primed. I don't care. I don't care. You start primed. Zenithal highlighted if you want primed. I don't care. Start
I
primed.
figured it.
Yeah, just start primed. And then if you were to pick something like the models from Song of Ice and Fire, which are like dudes in cloaks with swords and wearing like hides, I am 100% sure that I can get that entire model contrast painted in 60 seconds, and I will have a blow dryer right here, blow drying right while I paint, um, and then I will get a wash on it. It'll be great. Trainaholic says he's beaten down. Well, I'm very I'm not I have no sympathy for you because I was relying on you not painting your terrain for me to have a chance of winning. And now that your terrain is painted, um
Cloverman.
it's not good for me. And especially since he's been taunting me with pictures of it. It's very upsetting, Mr. Terrainaholic.
Yep.
It's
Well,
it
I mean, I haven't even seen it yet, but I think you should already have won, Trainaholic.
yeah.
I mean, I've seen Aaron, so you know it's not.
It sucks. um but yeah, I don't know. Like here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing with TikTok. First of all, I did something different with TikTok than I've done with Instagram and Twitter. Not Facebook, but with Instagram and Twitter. Instagram and Twitter, I only have one Instagram and one Twitter, and those are both for CGN, right? Um, TikTok, I have a personal TikTok that I'm just doing like videos that I want to do, like me dressing up in costumes and playing with lightsabers, and having my dog tell me in the morning that it wants a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich on a bagel, and then I go and make that, and then not give it to the dog, um, along with just all sorts of other fun things that I can, do. And then there's the CGN TikTok, which has more specifically oriented content, obviously, for what we do. Um, and so I've really, really liked having this sort of like separate creativity outlet that is not bound by anything other than what I want to make.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
it's
more freedom.
much easier to make up to 60-second videos than it is to make 20-minute long documentaries on terrain projects that we've been talking about for 6 months and working on for 2 months.
Yeah, I mean that practically writes itself. It sounds like.
It does. Um, Speaking of writing, Sean has graciously stepped up and he is helping finish our two-person space odyssey.
I'm actually super fucking excited about that.
Yeah.
What?
So Miranda and I came up with this idea and Miranda was super into it where I wanted to do a a story where the I don't know what you would call it. The hook, the catch, the interesting thing is that you could
Prestige.
the prestige like uh we would each be talking to each other over what is essentially like a Skype call like we are right now. Um, but we would also be filmed separately, so each half of the conversation would be on the other person's channel. And so essentially it's a space odyssey where we're both in life pods and we're communicating and we're trying to figure out what's going on. And if you're on my channel, then you see my face and you hear her, and if you're on her channel, then you see her face and whatever she's doing and you see me. And because for example, this is extreme, but it could be like, hey, I'm going to come and help you, but you see on my channel that I'm cocking a gun, right? But on the other channel, they would just hear, hey, I'm coming to help you, right? Like that's a really blunt way to do it. So that was the concept. So we would do 10 episodes, each episode comprising 2 videos for a total of 10 videos. Um, and we wrote like the first 2 episodes, and then we kind of got like didn't really have a direction, and I was talking to Sean about it, and Sean was like, "Oh, I have some amazing ideas for this." And so he has graciously taken over the writing for making this show. And then I know I'm really excited. And then we also, Miranda and Tommy and I, entered a 72-hour horror film festival. Um, yeah, which is March 4th, and we both took that Thursday, Friday off. So we have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to make this movie. And we are going to do, somehow, we're going to do a film festival while 1,000 miles apart. And essentially, what we're going to be doing is that I am going to be like trying to call Cthulhu by sending them out looking for these geocaches, and we both are going to slowly go crazy over the course of trying to raise a Cthulhu god. Um, Me as a manipulator, in a location, my basement, and that and them as people who can go out into the wonderful wilds of uh, the Southwest, where they have lots of beautiful places to go. So we had a pre-meeting on that, sort of roughed out the idea, and then of course, obviously, for all the rest of it, we have to wait for the 72-hour festival to start. Um, but I'm excited about that too. So that's what I got going on.
Well, I just think, to throw it out there, I'm really excited about these video projects that you're looking at using some of these uh, hurdles, some of the challenges of the technology and the spacing and stuff, because for COVID, as elements to drive your story, um, and kind of, build a narrative with using these weird technical hurdles, right? We can't be near each other, as major components. I just think that's super fucking cool and really appropriate for where we are in life right now.
Yep. I would agree. I would do
Yep.
Blair Witch Project.
That's that's pretty much that was kind of like my jumping off point. I was like, listen, we have 72 hours. It's got to be horror. We need to do, you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to be building props and doing gore and doing all of this stuff. Like, we got to do It Follows. Have you ever seen It Follows? So like It Follows, Blair Witch, maybe a little bit of Lovecraft Country, like storytelling, you know, but with the implied suspense as opposed to overt graphic. Yeah, because I mean, how much stuff are we really going to be able to make? You know what I mean? In 72 hours. And
Can you edit it in 72 hours too?
Everything.
you are tech okay, so like
Yeah, tell us the parameters of this.
I mean, I've never been 100% clear on what the parameters are. I've done a bunch of these 24-hour, 72-hour film festivals. I don't know, I've done 3 or 4 of them. And the people who always win, in my opinion, there's no way that they did it. You know what I mean? Like, it was clearly written before, and they had all this equipment rented, and it was just like, so I don't fully understand what is and isn't allowed. My understanding has always been that the intention is that you are supposed to um, write, film, write, build all your, do everything in 72 hours when you're given the there's certain elements that they withhold from you. So when you're given those elements, you're supposed to start the clock then, at that moment.
I mean, there's always different stipulations. Like I also went to film school and participated
Yeah, that sounds like a pain in the butt. This one doesn't actually have a lot of restrictions on it, but it's like for example, we were talking about a particular set piece, you know what I mean? And it was like, well, you could technically like rent this from a prop house. So is pre-building this set piece like is it in the spirit of 72 hours or not? You know what I mean? Like we're going to have costumes. I don't think that we're expected to sew all of our like that we're supposed to have bolts of fabric and then sew our costume. You know what I mean? Like there has to be some reasonable things. But what you're not supposed to do is like write the entire thing, pre-shoot a whole bunch of stuff and then just like do finishing touches and add in whatever the mysterious items are. Now, the way that they try to prevent you from doing that is most of these 24-hour, 72-hour films, they have like five secret things
Yeah.
that you have to get done. So it's usually like a character archetype, a prop, a location. It could be a specific line or a specific scene, and and whatnot. Um, but I've also been to some of these really like I participated in some really big ones, and have seen things where I mean it
Doubted your own sanity.
I was like this is just a short film that they made. There's no way that they made like this. They're just submitting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think I did it without breaking the world.
Did you not glue something to yourself?
Oh no, of course I glued something to myself, but the model's fine. That's what's important. So anyways, so Sean is working on that script, which I'm really excited about. And then Miranda and Tommy and I had our first meeting for this 72-hour film festival, and I have been cranking out TikToks along with the normal CGN content.
Like a
Um,
mad 13-year-old girl.
dude, like
It's insane.
it is hard to keep up with these really really funny 13-year-olds. By the way, like it's super annoying how funny everybody is.
It is, man. Like my daughter shows me stuff on there, and I just hope Aaron can keep her game up because
Dude,
there's
it's
there's times where like a 13-year-old just kicks your ass in like a piece of cake.
I mean, I think that just in general, social media wise, you this channel included, we are not we are not at the top of the hill. So
And I tell people like, yeah, don't say that. Our thousands of followers are gonna fall behind you.
you know what was actually kind of cool though? I posted so on Sunday I was doing chores, and then I decided to get into my Sith costume, and then I decided to spend 2 hours of taking pictures of myself in my Sith costume and playing with my lightsaber.
You went Sith
I
costume.
did, I did. While playing with my lightsaber, trying to get good photos.
Is your
Um,
lightsaber purple though?
yeah, and so
So everybody out there in the audience understands that this is really not as weird as it sounds.
no, it. I mean,
It's exactly as weird as it sounds.
Yeah, Josh thinks that. What, like 25% of the people out there
it,
think you're gonna be weird as hell doing chores in your Sith costume, and the other 3/4 of the people are gonna be like, yeah, I can see that.
so anyway,
Want to watch you actually trying to force shovel snow.
I mean that would be like
Way
That would be a
better.
lot
fantastic.
of fun.
Yes. Um. So I'm totally derailed now. I have no idea what I was talking about.
We were talking about
I
our
don't know.
Sith costumes,
Right, and then
and
I
then
was
we
that.
were doing all these other things, and then you were doing your costume thing, and then we were lamenting the power and destruction caused by 13-year-old TikTok girls.
Oh, right. Yes. I just got sidetracked for like 2 hours. You know what I mean? By like trying to figure out because there's all these really really popular like lightsaber costume videos, and I was like, oh, I got to try to get in on this. And then 3 hours later, I'm like doing chores in my Sith costume with no video made.
So listen. You just gave me a great idea. So your model making slash building shenanigans reminded me of so, it just gave me inspiration of something that you could do for a video.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know those
Yeah.
Clearly, I had a better way to eat soup that didn't burn my face.
I'm thinking you're a prime example about building models and
So what is the solution? What am I selling?
you gotta figure that out.
Okay. Do you super glue your fingers together every time you try to put together a model?
Possibly, I will tell you, in my clutch scenario,
It is
I
is following the instructions numerically difficult for you?
Here's an abacus.
Here's
have a 12-part plan called the Aaron plan. Oh no, I glued myself.
Step one, check to see if the model that you are building is the same as the instructions you have instructed.
I still have a really ugly model, a clamshell from a 40K model, with like a 20-year-old Skaven model in the clamshell. How is that? How is that happening?
and it's on video, which is what's great.
Didn't realize it for a long time.
For a long time, you had put down and glued something together like this.
I hate all of you people. I, you know, it's like,
There's a very strange thing that occurred with your Skaven showing up instead of your real model. In some sort of geocaching, evil Cthulhu summoning fuckery.
oh God.
How, I don't know, but something.
I was supposed to make all four legs for it. This building is tiny. It's so little. The
Oh, it's the little bunker, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, I was so disappointed. I thought that was going to be like something that you could like embark into or whatever it's called, the hammerhead. Yeah, I thought you. It's huge. No, it's really
Dude,
tiny.
it's tiny.
Can you hold it up real fast there? I guess
Hold on. No,
it's glued to my hand.
I cannot.
It's actually the size of
It's like a rhino. It's like the size of a rhino.
Oh, is it a rhino size?
Yeah.
Still a little bit bigger than I thought. I thought I saw a picture where it was like a marine standing next to it.
No. 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 Just as tall?
Okay, maybe not as tall.
Yeah, a Primaris Marine is just as tall as the building, but the building itself is it's girthy. Oh man,
That's where I am with my Talon Master.
I can't. Your Talon Master is in better shape than the two pieces that I just glued together and then unglued together.
I chopped up so much stuff and interglued this thing, but I'm really, really excited about it. Really excited.
So Sean, you're having trouble figuring out TikTok.
Um, no, not really. I'm having trouble getting myself into the mental space where I can use it.
Gotcha.
As a 37-year-old guy, it has some sort of weird kryptonite type thing that hurts me when I think about how to execute or use it. So there's a problem. Now I have some videos about some more
There
techniques.
was there was a video that was like if you part your hair on the side, then you're old. Apparently, kids don't part their hair on the side anymore. They all part it in the center. And so if you it, so who parts their hair on the side?
who parts their hair.
Yeah, I do too.
Mine
I
do,
don't have
and
parts.
yeah, well, you two have basically the same hair, where it's just kind of like somewhat buzzed, and you kind of have bangs. Whereas, like, I part my hair, and I had actually talked to my barber about this because I was like, dude, my part used to be like up here, and now you've started parting it back here, and he was like, yeah, it's because of widow's peak. So I used to part way up further on my hair, but since I got a widow's peak, it wouldn't line up right. I'm like, oh, okay, so you've just been manipulating me for the past 5 years.
You mean doing his job, making you look as good as possible with
Manipulating.
with
I
yes.
thought my widow's peak was not growing, but it is.
He he
It's
he
bald.
he's like you're bald. He's like you're bald. You have no hair. You just keep coming in and sitting here. Nothing. I'm not doing anything. I haven't cut your hair in 3 years.
I've just been going slippery.
This is actually like kind of this is a true story. I had a coworker who always had a shaved head, and he was like our age, and at the time, we were still in our 20s, and he decided that he wanted to grow his hair back, and then no hair grew.
Oh man.
And he realized that he had gone bald in the years that he had been shaving his head.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. So, speaking of bummers, tell us about Dark Angels, Sean.
Oh man, the Dark Angels are. There's still some stuff that's unconfirmed, but at the end of the day, they have all of the same stuff that Space Marines have, plus more. Plus their bikes are
Except there's
objectively
chaos.
sturdy. Yeah, no, the bikes are. They I guess we'll start from the beginning.
Yeah.
A long time ago, there was the First Legion and the Emperor, and then all of 40k happened. So the Dark Angels are the best. There is no question about this. They're the first Legion. Yeah, we were the First Legion.
Thunder
It's
Warrior.
I heard they know some stuff. It is what it is, and some you know successive chapters care. Some people don't. They have a unique structure, as in every Dark Angel successive chapter does official master puberty to their Grandmaster. So while they are slightly, delineated between them, they are legit a legion of Dark Angels in modern 40k for that reason. Um, they have and continue to have had and continue to have all the best gear, equipment, so on and so forth. Of course, because they're the best, right? Um, they also apparently now do everything amazingly. So if you look at the three major chunks of the Dark Angels, which has always existed, you have the first company, the Death Wing, the second company, the Raven Wing, and then all the rest of the dudes, which is referred to as the Green Wing. So those are your Space Marines, tanks, all that fun stuff.
So one of them are basically your bikers, and the others your Terminators, right?
Yeah, precisely. So what they did was they took all of the fast attack choices. Well, we'll start with the Terminators. The first company, they took all of the super heavy, crazy stuff, being Maginal Dreadnought armor, and it is, inner circle, the first company. This is where you get promoted to. This means you're a badass, that you've lived for a long time, that you're worthy of knowing a bunch of extra secrets, all that good stuff.
You're in the
You
cool
can
kids.
fight armor, right? Yeah, and the vast majority of them are Terminators, but there are also we have seen through history stuff like the Land Raiders, Crusaders, and Redeemers will get the same kind of paint job treatment. And in 8th edition, I believe you could even make them Deathwing, like give them the rules, even though it really didn't do much. Dreadnoughts fit in there. Blade Guard veterans are going to go in there now. So they're expanding out what can be in the first company, the Deathwing, which before was the Terminators and just their immediate kind of support items. Um, we now in the new book have every different character option you could ever want for Terminators, as well as access to the core Terminators from the Space Marine book. Unless there's something in the supplement that says, hey, you can't take regular Terminators. So you've got the core Space Marine Terminators, Assault Terminators, and Relic Terminators, and then the Deathwing specific Deathwing Terminators. Sounds silly, but everybody's got different options. Everybody can do different things. The vast majority of Terminators are going to be Deathwing Terminators, but taking Terminators gives them the Deathwing rules, so they still get all the benefits, even if you're not using the unit data sheet from the Green Wing.
Which you would do because they can be geared differently.
Exactly, because they have teleport homers and weird other stuff like that. Which anybody who laughs at a teleport homer, you've never had your face kicked in by 10 assault terminators while you were trying to take a backfield objective. So it is what it is.
Were people? I just want to know. Was anybody laughing at teleport homers?
I've gotten flack for teleport homers. I've been wanting teleport homers on my Deathwing Terminators forever because of the flexibility that they Terminators on the board, they smash someone's face.
Eighth edition?
Yeah, and now we're in ninth
Oh,
edition,
amazing.
right? So they took that and twisted it and made everything way super better. So, you kicked ass before all the extra bonus stuff, and now you glued all the extra bonus stuff on top of it.
Or
And
no,
now let's
wait.
have
Did you
fun.
did you glue the extra bonus stuff on top of it or to my hand?
Both.
You can't blame Sean for goofing up a model. You can't. That's retarded.
But so one of the big things right now is we're playing objectives, right? Objectives are a huge part of the game. So OBSEC becomes very, very important, especially when you're talking about elite armies, few model counts, those kind of things. You really need to have the ability to, have your guy at least count for his own weight, um, to hold an objective in the middle of the board if it's contested. If you take a Vanguard detachment with your Warlord in it, your Deathwing and the Vanguard detachment has nothing but Deathwing models in it, you recoup the command points for taking that Vanguard. So now it doesn't cost 3 command points; it costs 0 command points. And every Deathwing Terminator unit in that
Detach.
formation or detachment. There we go. Sorry, words. Gets the OBSEC rules, right? So not the characters, but the units of Terminators. So now I've got this incredibly hard to ship thing. It's super brutal. It shoots, it punches things in the face, and it can stand on an objective and hold it to the last man against something like a Riptide or a Hellbrute or whatever else, right? It's not going to outweigh a 20-man squad of Chaos Space Marines, right? But it's going to count instead of an enemy's, bunch of other stuff. So there's definitely some benefits in that. There are all the characters from apothecaries to masters to lieutenants now, that you can get in Terminator armor to go ahead and supplement your guy. So you can literally play a viable and arguably very powerful complete Terminator army.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah. So then we go to the second chapter.
The second company.
Company. God, I can't think tonight, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, so we get to the second company, and now it's Raven Wing. So anything that's a land speeder, anything that's a bike, now they're doing the same thing. They're gluing Raven Wing onto a bunch of different units that are classically found in the Raven Wing. They're giving them these extra things like OBSEC, for your bike. So now I got Raven Wing bikes that my Talon Master and my various other Raven Wing characters can affect because they all have Raven Wing. They've all got OBSEC, so I can throw bikes out there and they can extend
That
the
and
game.
let's just be clear. That includes land speeders, the new land speeders, the old bikes, the new bikes, all of it.
Yep. Anything, the long story short, anything that's a bike or a speeder is going to fall into the Raven Wing. And as far as I can tell, again, I haven't had the supplement in my hands, but as far as I can tell, it's looking like every one of those types of models, is going to get the Raven Wing rule and therefore be able to do all the fun junk. Um, so the other thing is, right? Okay, so you got these two super deadly forces. Do you want to go smash someone in the face with a rock, or do you want to dance around them in circle with bikes and shoot them to pieces and shoot them up while you can hold an objective, essentially? Because they're better than White Star Spikes, like no question. We're getting they all get the Jink rule now. The Deathwing is almost like 100% confirmed, but it's not. Where you're looking at transhuman physiology for all of your Terminators, so they can only be wounded on a roll of a 4, 5, or 6. So they're adding all these extra layers of tool junk on top of what were arguably already really, really powerful units, right? Like my buggies are probably going to get the Raven Wing rule. So now, if I move super, super fast to get across the side of the board, I've got a 4 up and vulnerable save because I, you know, uh, advance, right? Um, so you're looking at taking this thing, the buggies, and if you want to run 9 buggies and you want to kick someone in the face, why would you not run them as Dark Angels? Unless, of course, you're silly and you
Yeah,
think
Aaron.
they're so
Why don't
powerful.
you run 9 buggies as Dark Angels?
Dude,
Why would you not run 9 buggies?
I can run whatever I want. My space marines are color purple. The color purple.
Yeah, but the point is, there's a tremendous amount of ways that you can use this
See, here's the list that here's the army that I'm gonna build. It's just gonna be all Skyfall hammer bunkers and the guys on the turrets.
Yeah,
The
I'm gonna play it
with
safe with an Imperial Fist,
with tech
and the guy's
marines.
gonna kick you in the
And I'm
nuts.
you know and they're gonna be they're gonna be ultramarines.
Every single one of them's gonna be a Cyber Eagle.
You know, that'd be pretty
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Like doing a completely stationary army, but doing that in a team tournament event.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like you are just nothing but stationary, and Josh can just play like the fastest archer.
I like how you assume that my partner's Josh and not you or Sean.
It's okay. We understand the decision and why you made it. But see, with that stuff, right? Now we're talking about bikes, and so, okay, so you got these three separate pieces of Dark Ages, right? So now let's go ahead and combine them. What do you want to do? I want to be able to take objectives first turn. I want to be able to seize port control, back table collect, back table, objective control. I want to be able to react, like decide where I want to attack and decide where I'm going to react and hold out. And between walking terminators, deep striking terminators, homing beacons on bikes, the objective secured on both of them. Like there's a lot of talk going on that the standard Dark Angel list is going to be a Vanguard detachment with Terminators in it, and an Outrider detachment of Raven Wings, right? Because they go together. The Raven Wings run around, do all sorts of stuff, and when you convince an enemy, you just bury its Terminators. And then, okay, well, we need something to sit in the back and do its job. Well, you grab some of those Hellblasters that no one's been playing with your heavy plasma incinerator stuff, and you give them an extra shot for 2 turns. These weapons of the Dark Ages that we just got back. And we get a +1 ballistic skill if our infantry didn't move. So like there's no major piece of what you need to be successful on the table that is not being substantially and in a real applicable way positively influenced by the Dark Ages rules. Everything that everybody else can do, we can do just a little bit better, except for close combat, right? Civilian shooting, um, movement, organization, force control. They have everything. Close combat, you're really just throwing terminators and shit into the ground and starting tower charges, which guess what works.
Well, they can take thunderhammers too, can't they?
Yes, yes, they can, but now you're looking at a difference in how much damage do I want to do versus how much AP do I have versus how many points do I get, right? Also, how many points am I going to pay for it? Um, do you really need 3 damage out of every weapon or 4 damage in order to
I
get
was
the
just I was just asking if they still had that option. I wasn't.
I haven't. I'm not sure exactly what the options breakdown is going to be for the Deathwing Terminators, but we have no reason to believe that they're not going to be the same as they always
So
have
I
been.
just let me just understand something. Um, so you can take 3 different detachments, and each detachment you can have a first company, a second company, and a green company in your list as your army. So all your bikes and all of your whatever fast attack, whatever you want to choose, your land speeders, your bikes, your buggies, whatever it is, they're all going to run around with all that crazy stuff that they have. Then your Terminators are going to run around with all their crazy stuff. And then if you still need Space Marine support for normal Space Marine stuff, whether it's just, some characters or troops or tanks or heavy
Weapons.
heavy weapons, you're still going to get that's still going to fall into its own detachment that gets all of those other bonuses like the +1 to hit if you don't move and things like that.
Well, the +1 to hit if you don't move applies to all of the detachments. So the Terminators, that's our army special rule, right? So all the Space Marines get the doctrine, right? First Devastator turn, your heavy weapons get an extra, AP, and then your rapid fire weapons or something like that. Then your close combat weapons get the AP bonuses. So that's just baked into all the Space Marines, right? And then
So do you still have the doctrines?
yeah, and then that's what, again, I haven't seen the book, but there's no reason to expect because what's happening is they're no longer a discrete separate army. This is being glued onto just like the Imperial Fist. So you got to look at it like the Imperial Fist
Hmm.
You take all the Space Marine stuff and you add the extra Imperial Fist stuff. So what they did was they took the Dark Angel stuff and instead of having a completely different book, they turned it into an Imperial Fist type add-on to the Space Marines. And what that's done is taken these very very powerful bonuses that they were giving the Dark Angels and glued it on top of everything else. Now we can take Centurions. We have access to every unit in the Codex that we used to not have. So there's a bunch of additional aircraft. There's a bunch of additional troops. Like for instance, Dark Angels, you could be taking Ironclad Dreadnought. I don't know if you've ever been in the mix of a whole bunch of crazy death and had someone drop an Ironclad Dreadnought in the middle of a bunch of vehicles and monsters fighting each other, but it is a bloody beautiful mess. And to have that, like something that we can deploy from a Storm Raven, um, there's just so much cool stuff that we've never been able to do that we now can do just in base, and we get all this extra super awesome stuff. Um, it really is. I think that it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be crazy. I certainly hope that it is not as game breaking as it could be, but I expect that we're gonna see Dark Angels at the top of a whole lot of metas, and you're gonna see prices for kits be absurd because we were running. We Dark Angel players, we had supply issues. We've had supply issues for the past 18 months. Like it was already not easy to get, some of those very cool Dark Angel kits. And then COVID happened, and now you're seeing a box of Terminators on eBay for $100.
Yeah, those Terminator kits were really cool, and like I know we're kit bashed into lots of other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm sure
They
they're already really popular.
they are two of the Raven Wing, the fancy Raven Wing Black Knight slash Biker kit, and the Deathwing Terminator kit are two of the best kits, in my personal opinion, that GW has ever put out. They have a ton of pieces, tons of iconography. You can literally use half the pieces to kit out your other junk and still have enough of the right equipment to build the core units that you bought the box for. They're like the gift that keeps on giving. And it's
Kind of like the Sternguard veteran stuff.
exactly, there's so much extra cool, awesome stuff that it's just, you can do whatever you want. And then, you've got guys like me who've been playing Terminator since, fifth edition. And I just need to stop messing around with all this other stuff and get my Terminators out. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff. Um, and they are, I believe, at a very, very powerful place in the rules. And then it's just, really seeing exactly what the options for all the units are.
So
Um,
you know what Josh is doing right now? He's calculating the value of his Dark Angels army.
dude, as soon as that book comes out and people figure out what that, now don't get me wrong, if that the Dark Eldar book that comes up next and the Xeno, whatever Xenos they're gonna put out after that,
It's
um,
gonna be orcs.
yeah, we might see some stupid powerful stuff, right? Because we keep seeing the codex creep. It just keeps happening. It is what it is. Um, but there's gonna be a lot of people who want to get into Dark Angels.
I forbid you from selling our Dark Angels.
You want to buy it?
I knew that
Yeah,
was.
play with them, man. They're Terminators at some point. Kick some ass.
Dude, I have like 20 Terminator Deathwing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You have the resources already built, so like you might have to throw a character in there or something like that. But it's looking like it's going to be really really cool.
Samael. Is that a is that
Samael.
is that a Deathwing character?
Is it an ancient or a horde?
Samael is a Raven Wing character. They have removed his land speeder variation, so he is only on his
Oh
land
wait,
class.
they removed that really awesome land speeder?
Yeah, they also got rid of the which is my favorite Razorback option. They did that with the core Space Marine Codex.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that when I get into the book, they're going to have it as an option
They're
because
not.
they're not going to, but I want it because I custom built all the Las I still play with my Las.
Isn't that
It's
the
not
one
like
that
the
was so
recent
bad?
competition. Say again.
Yes, yes. I was gonna return. I was gonna return because all my Las are not custom. They're Forge World. I was gonna return. I was gonna attempt to return my Las
They might
to
let
for
you. Customer service is really cool as long as you got the receipt, man.
be like, yo, I bought this a decade ago and you've invalidated it. I would like my money back, please.
I never got to use it, you jerk.
I used it a lot, but I can't use it anymore. So
Oh, Last Class is so good, so good. But yeah, man, their options for um, the Primaris Marines, Standard Marines, combining Terminators and your fast attack stuff. There's just you're gonna be able to build any kind of army with these guys, and it's gonna be effective. The only thing you're not gonna be able to do is build a Blood Angel esque blender, close combat system where every unit is able to just chop shit to pieces with numbers and attacks. That's not going to happen, but anything else you'll be able to do. Um, and
well,
I
I
feel
mean
like
that sounds freaking awesome.
yeah, it's really really cool. It's really cool. They from some of the other kind of fluffy things, it looks like they're starting to try to branch out some of the sub chapters and what they're doing. They've got we don't know what's going to happen with the Fallen, right? So the Fallen have started to show up more in force. In the previous codex, right? We saw Cypher and we saw the Fallen and the Chaos Space Marines, and then if you follow the lore, I'm sure there's some spoilers somewhere. But there's all sorts of weird shit going on with the Fallen and the Duke of Diamond, and who's really pulling what strings behind the Dark Angels, curtain of secrecy. So we might see Cypher and the Fallen get rolled back in as options to take. We might even have a subchapter that is the Fallen, and you can run Dark Angels as the Fallen with their own special subset of rules.
They probably would have spoiled that as a reason to
Yeah,
buy the book.
it totally
I agree.
totally agree with you.
Yeah, I
But
think
what
I
I'm saying is I don't know what's going to be in that book, and there's been a whole lot of weird shit going on with the story and stuff in the background.
well, it sounds like Dark Angels are where they're at. It sounds like you've gotten everything that you've ever wanted.
I really did. I really did. There's nothing in my Dark Angels collection that isn't about to be just smash face experience on the table.
And we obviously went over this last week, but they talked about the new Primaris models. They talked about the grav armor. They talked about the land speeders. Um, so if you haven't put in your pre-orders, uh,
Too late.
too late.
Yeah.
But we're gonna topic hop now.
What?
Just
To what war?
no, we are gonna take a look at the Marvel Crisis Protocol Cosmic Terrain Pack.
Nice.
It,
So they're making terrain
it's
now.
not new, but it's cool.
It's not
Tell me
new.
about that. I
It's
want to
not
start finding these.
it's not new. So, we haven't really covered a lot of the terrain. But Marvel Crisis Protocol has some terrain that came in the starter kit, and it has some smaller terrain sets. But they've come out with
Is it
two.
all cardboard though?
No, 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 no. It's all plastic. It's all
Oh
plastic.
shit. Okay.
Yeah. But they've
Even
come
the
out.
starter stuff is plastic.
Yeah, it's all plastic. But they've come out with two like full bore like substantial terrain packs, and the cosmic one is freaking awesome.
Let me ask some real quick baseline questions real fast because people like me who don't understand this game at all want to know what size of board do you play on, and what does your standard terrain density type stuff look like, Josh?
3 by 3,
Okay.
and the density is 12 to 14 pieces, I believe, of terrain.
And
And it's super important in this game because the fact that you can throw terrain at people and people into terrain, and it destroys the terrain depending on how big the piece you throw into terrain is, and then when you throw a piece of terrain, it's always destroyed.
well, that's super cool, dude. Because one of my favorite things about our homebrew apocalypse was we had buildings. We had extra freighters. We would have Titans walk through buildings, and buildings got destroyed. Usually played really creative. Love this stuff for terrain. Tell us about the awesome terrain.
So
Well, you
the
should also talk about the scale of the terrain real quick for people
So
that.
it's the same as 40K.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It's
so
literally like
it
OC.
No.
It is technically the same scale as 40K. However, it runs a little bit smaller than 40K.
Well, first of all, 40K doesn't have a definitive scale, and when you look at like if you actually were to build vehicles that could actually hold the number of models that are supposed to be inside them, the vehicles are actually smaller scale than the people are.
Oh,
Um,
we're not talking about 40K vehicles.
but so the easy quick answer is it's the same scale as 40K. Um,
Scale like a pen.
it's 32 millimeter is the any of you could play Marvel Crisis Protocol on your 40K terrain and vice versa. Starhawk. I finally got started on the Indominus box. I'm about halfway done with the thick Melta boys.
Oh my god, there's so much dirty internet slang regarding the Gravis armor nowadays. I don't know what the deal is, but alright, Warhammer community, you do you.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. As someone who's new to TikTok, I need to understand what you're talking about.
So they got rid of Gravis, didn't they? Isn't it just relic armor like they did with the Death Guard?
No, 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 no. Why is there dirty memes about the armor? Why are they being called thick?
Well, I was saying, guess what I'm saying? I don't quite understand why these terms, such as thick boy or thick girl, which are normally associated with other things, um, are showing up so prominently in communication regarding little plastic
Oh, you're
soldiers.
just so old, man. You're like
Yeah, we're
you're like
so old. We're parting our hair on the side. We're confused how to upload the individual clips into the TikTok app.
I know, right?
Like,
It's like our growing up with computers has failed us.
like,
Yeah, I'm fine with it. How
I
many
mean,
how many TikTok videos have you posted, Kalen?
I don't do social media.
he's made $1 billion off of GameStop. He's fine. He's fine.
Well, much love to you then. Do
Um,
whatever you want. You're my hero now, Aaron.
he was talking about it like weeks before my mom called me and was like, "Have you heard about GameStop?" And I was like, "Yes, mother. I've heard about GameStop." Uh,
Can't buy my Nintendo cartridges.
so, um, 3x3, lots of terrain. There's no line of sight. Everything is done by a height multiplier. So things have height 1, 2, 3, 4, or size 1, 2, 3, 4. And you do just comparative things there. So theoretically, it's a game that you don't actually need any terrain for. You could just play with cutouts of pieces of paper and just declare what the height is. And that would work because true line of sight is irrelevant. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't function as a rule. So I don't want to get into this argument.
Works differently.
Well, it's not uh, right. There's line of sight, but it's not true line of sight. So you just say, this building is size 2. You're size 1. I'm size 1. We can't see over the building. Which means that you theoretically could just have a piece of paper that is the footprint of the building and write a 2 on it, and it would serve the same function. That's all I'm saying.
Same as like Star Wars Legion.
Yes.
Similar anyway.
Yes. I think so. I think the
That's
answer.
cool. I'm okay with that. I mean, I've always had an issue with the true line of sight in 40K. Um, they actually did some really they stole one of our other APOC rules, not being able to see through a building if you're not on the base, and put that into ninth edition. So that was actually really awesome. We were doing that with APOC in eighth edition for years, um, just because it helps keep you safe from that 10,000 points of alpha strike. Anyway, but I like
Well, speaking of Alpha Strike, like the GW website, let me see if I can find it. They have like the meta roundup, meta watch,
the meta watch.
and it's titled um, "Is Warhammer 40K First Turn Advantage a Thing of the Past?"
No.
And
Sorry.
that's pretty much the gist of what I after reading the article kind of felt as well. Um,
They've done a little bit to mitigate it, but not enough. Until we go to like a real, true, we're both playing our armies on the same turn, right? Like that rotating activation type thing.
You mean
Um,
like in Crisis Protocol?
in millions of other games,
Lots of games.
Infinity, Bolt
Yeah.
Action,
Warhammer Second Edition.
even the Star Wars Armada, and I believe X-Wing function that way, where you have alternating activations. Until we get alternating activations, there will always be a disproportionate value associated with the first strike. Right now, a lot of it looks like movement, right? Because now I have the ability to. We're playing objective games. I get to choose where I'm moving first. It's still an advantage, right? And until we get alternating activations where Josh can move his scary, horrible, evil unit, and then I can move my scary, horrible, evil unit, the first turn is always going to have a big impact on the game.
So now I didn't read this, but I'm assuming they're talking about it in relationship to rolling to see who goes first, and also scoring for the second player at the end of the game.
Right.
Is it
Correct.
which
Yes.
both directly impact the person going first?
Correct.
Right. So I mean, I can kind of see that because now if you're going second, you actually have a fifth turn, and you have an ability to respond still in some ways to your opponent's move in their last turn. Whereas
Correct.
before, if you were going first, you could just do whatever. It didn't really matter what your opponent was going to do.
That's true and not true. So hold on.
No,
If you were playing even in seventh edition, even pre eighth, if you were just playing put your armies on the table and kill each other, then yes. But since when seventh edition came out with the cards that gave you objectives, there were objectives that required being held at the end of the opposing player's turn, which is what they've just essentially done for ninth edition. So they had that in seventh, and they had that in eighth, and they had that in ninth. It just was more of like, oh, and this was an epiphany for Sean. Like, do you remember the game that we played where I was like, hey Sean, we're gonna play with the objective cards and actually do the objective stuff, and you were like, oh my god, this completely changes the game. Um, so they did have those mechanics built in if you played non just Purge the Alien Dawn of War. Um, but now it is like the standard way to play. So
Because it's more of an objective game, not
absolutely,
killing.
absolutely. And the best, funnest games of Warhammer 40K that I've ever played were Maelstrom games, right? That came down to the wire because we were all trying to do some crazy shit because the cards told us to. So it definitely mitigates some of that first turn uh, power that you get. But if you
well,
need
it's the scoring. It's the scoring that mitigates it, right? If you can't score until the end of the battle round, or until the end of your other player's turn, then that allows the second player to do something about it. There were lots of situations in 40k previously where it was like you could do a bunch of scoring on your turn and there was no way to stop it. It's like, oh, on your turn you stand on this objective and you get D3 points. Okay, great. You know what I mean? Like that means all I have to do is walk my guy over there and I get the points, and the opposing player has no counter to that. So now they're making sure that a lot of this scoring happens after the second player has an opportunity to do something.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and that is fantastic, and it does a good job of mitigating and balancing out the way that we are accruing victories in the game. But what it doesn't compensate for is it doesn't compensate for the creation of initiative. And what that means is once I go ahead and start to
Take
make an impact on you, the utilization of my force, you are now required to do something to compensate, right? Through
right.
balancing math and shit. And if you're going
And mag. Don't forget it's mag. There's a lot of
Oh,
magnets
a lot of
involved.
magnets going on.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a lot of.
lots of magnets. But the point is, I still have an unfettered set of time
Yep.
That's where the benefit still exists to that alpha mode.
Oh yeah, taking board control, taking center, you know what I mean? Like doing a whole like just eliminating units from the other person, you know what I mean? Like that's just a thing. Like if you drop down and you're like, "Oops, I blew up two of your three tanks and three of your tactical squads." Like it doesn't matter that you could have responded. They're all dead. So
And think of it in super simplistic terms like this, right? I get to shoot with all my guys, but I can also take my fights and I can run them up the board. I can put them in a place where they are dangerous to you. You do not have an option to respond to that until after I've done it. Whereas if we were playing alternate activations, I could run my bikes up the center, kill something. I could only do one before you were given an option to respond. Your ability to mitigate,
yeah.
the pressure that your opponent's putting on you, it just doesn't exist yet, right? We're just not there because we're not playing Marvel Crisis Protocol or Infinity, where every one of those decisions has an immediate reaction, either from my side or from you guys. And it's just like fucking shoot at stuff because
You know what?
fine.
You know what I thought. You know what I found out that was really interesting. So like a lot of times you'll hear people talk about how even chess is an unbalanced game, right? And how white has like a slightly above 50% chance to win when when being played. Have you guys heard that? Have you heard people talk about that?
I've not heard anything detailed about it, but I have heard the above 50% chance to win
Right.
being
So so the thing that yeah, so the thing that I learned that I didn't know is that that statement is only in relationship to humans. So when humans are playing chess, even grand champion like grandmasters, the person who plays white has slightly higher than 50% chance. But when you take two computer systems with identical intellectual power, white always wins.
Huh. Huh.
Crazy.
I think that is a pretty solid. It always wins.
Always wins.
I mean, is this the same AI that they're doing? Like, is it
Exactly. Exactly. The
oh,
same
then
a
I
that
would do this move, so then I would do this move, so one's always a step behind.
exactly. Right.
That doesn't really at all suit the real world.
Well, it just no, but it's in
Assume that you had two of the exact same brains is what I'm saying.
But what that is, that's a
but that's
byproduct of simulation.
that it's not necessarily a byproduct of simulation. It's saying that it's an inherent imbalance because there is no decision that the other thing can make in order to rebalance it. And there are other games where you can take the same AI and play it against each other, and they don't always the person who goes first doesn't always win because of the way the game is played.
Yeah, I
So
think that has to do with the finite amount of patterns that'll wash through. And I mean, obviously, there's absurdly many, you know, where can you move pieces during a game, but it's still not as complex as say Warhammer 40K or Marvel Crisis Protocol. Just the very nature of it being on a square board and having sets amounts of pieces.
I don't understand how it wants me to put this into the back.
That's my concern.
I made it so far and everything is so good, and now I'm confused.
Now it's escaping.
Now it's escaping. Ugh. Anyways, I just thought it was interesting because I had heard, you know what I mean, I had heard that a long time. Like Matt from Mini Wargaming talks about that there is no perfect balance, that even in a game like chess where you're on a 64 by 64 board and everybody has the exact same pieces and is alternating activation, um, that the first person goes has a higher probability to win. I didn't know that when they did it with computer simulations that it got even worse. That that it was the first person to go always wins.
Yeah, pretty intense. I think it's just that much more of a case to be like, hey, when we get our next edition, I really think that we need to go to some sort of alternating activation system. I think that it's the last big piece of gameplay that
I honestly don't understand why they're so resistant to it. I really
D20.
okay. That you
I
explain.
want D20. There's not enough variables.
So you want to play Chronopia in Warzone. Canopy in Warzone was D20 alternating activation.
Okay, let's do it.
I love Ethiopia, FYI.
It fantastic game. Um,
Well, and see, I'm okay with some different dice and stuff like that. I think that getting rid of D6 is going to be a bigger hurdle for GW than doing alternating activation because the D6 is kind of like their brand. So
Yeah,
yeah.
there's just not enough variables. It just always ends up being +1 to wound, -1 to hit. Like, it's the
Yeah,
same.
but imagine like what the fanboys would do if that happened.
Yeah, I know. There would be screeching and
Gnashing of teeth.
yeah.
Zydan forces both to plant. He's got lots of stuff to say. Hold on, let me catch up. Am I late to the Bunker Fest? Yeah, yes, you are late to the Bunker Fest. Yeah, there is no sound from anyone else. What?
What?
It's super quiet.
Hopefully.
Uh,
Where is that? Oh, Trainaholic would have said something.
Maybe he just doesn't like listening to us.
Yeah, maybe he was only listening there, and I'm just like, this guy's funny enough on his own. Forget those other jerks.
I don't know. It's showing me sound on OBS.
Weird.
Well, we're just gonna assume that's a you problem, Zayden.
Rooster.
sorry, bro.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say
Some
maybe
rooster.
your
Spoken.
headset is a little broken, a little damaged.
Damn it.
So we didn't talk about the Nundum yet.
The nun. What's the Nundum?
Oh, I got
The
it the moment you said it.
sister battle in that suit.
Oh,
Uh,
right. Um, I don't understand where her legs go.
Yeah, I know that's the big thing. Everyone doesn't understand where the legs go. I think that they just kind of go down, like the feet are in the knees of the armor.
Yeah, no,
Or
I
there
I
it.
just want to say that if you can accept that a Grey Knight Dread Knight exists, whatever to the Nundum. I'm still upset that the Grey Knight Dread Knight is a piece of hot garbage.
and I mean like Terminator armor, like a human physique would fit in Terminator armor, right?
Yeah, like the
Who
suspension.
cares? We're playing little pew
It's
pew
all good.
guys.
Yeah, we just got to get over it. Like
Yeah.
it is what it is. So I have no major issues with her specifically. Um, I don't really understand why the Sisters of Battle needed another giant walker machine type thing.
So they had like
Um,
the penitent engine, right?
yeah,
That was like kind of what they had before. Yeah, I don't really know. It kind of seems like a scouty sort of type model. Like,
yeah.
like kind of medium light armor gets in really fast. Might be able to punish some stuff once it gets in there, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. I bet they'll have like some sort of like AoE debuff, like -1 to casting or something like that.
Yeah.
Little
So I think you guys
sound
actually were
something.
quiet. So I think I fixed it.
okay.
Oh,
Well, I'm glad it's
okay.
fixed.
But there was another comment earlier that we missed about it. Zayden is
Oh.
correct.
Oh, why aren't you doing your job, Aaron?
I'm
I
sorry.
thought that was Paulie's job.
Pauly's not here.
He's not here. He's asleep.
Okay, well, we're
Fucker.
gonna have a board meeting about that.
Hey, person off the internet who's really nice to us, who
Yeah.
helps us when
Spends
you're
way more
available.
energy on Miranda's podcast than us. Just
I
saying.
mean
Just saying.
that it. But
Much love, Paulie. I wasn't.
all
Much
right.
love.
So
I
here it
wasn't. I
is.
wasn't trying to cause a problem.
I got it done. In terms of height, it is the height of a Primaris Marine, but in terms of um, thickness, as the children are saying, um,
I
one,
think that's just regular
two,
thickness.
3, 4, 5. It's 6 inch. It's a 6 by 6 by 3 box. So 6x6 is pretty big. It's like as long as a rhino but wider. So it's like
Yeah.
it's like 2 rhinos sitting next to each
Yeah,
other.
I guess that's okay. But you can't have dudes go inside of it, right?
I don't know. I don't buy things for rules.
Yeah, no, I don't believe you can. I don't think it's a
Hey,
fortification that you can enter.
this is the second model, by the way, that I've opened now that doesn't come with the data card.
No, they don't come with the data card anymore. Look at the back page. There's some very simplified stats with no words.
Oh, with the little pictures of the weapons and all that
Yes.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a thing.
That's very
That is the thing.
confusing.
I think that I don't know if they've really like said why, but it seems to me for one of two reasons. One, international boxes, they don't have to worry about putting like all the rules and everything.
Yep.
Two, it's so little kids can pull them out of the box, glue them together, and be like, oh, look, this has a shield. So that's his toughness. We don't have to worry about special abilities and all that. And we can at least just start our game with just these base stats or whatever.
Well, driving people towards buying the other products like the codex and trying to get them into the digital environment. So I don't fault them for it.
I do 100%. No,
I know you do.
Dude, but check, like, you can't see my table, but I mean, who's gonna mess with this? I mean, honestly, how could this get any better? I got a Tech Marine behind my Hammerfall bunker with 3 gun platforms making a Triforce around it. I mean, this is an impossible army to beat.
And don't those bunkers, I don't know if it's infinite, but can't they pretty much hit anything on anywhere on the board as long as they can see it?
Well, there's a little explosion thing, and then it says 72 inches.
Yeah, so 72 inches, but in all directions, so it can hit anything on the board as long as it can see it.
2d6, 6 damage, AP 0. I don't know. Oh, I figured it out. 2d6 shots, strength 6, 0 armor penetration, 1 damage, or 2 shots, strength 10, AP minus 2, d6 damage at 72 inches.
Love
Then at 12 inches, it's d6, strength 5, AP minus 1, 1. And at 36 inches, it's 3 shots, strength 5, AP minus 1, 2 damage. And then its ballistic skill is a 4+ and degrades. But its toughness is 6. It has 8 wounds and 14 blood drops. It has 8 skull and 14 blood drops.
Blood drops is my favorite.
The blood drops are your wounds. So
okay, so what's the skull? Toughness? Toughness.
Maybe.
Strength 6, toughness 8, flag 7. I don't know what the flag means.
Let me see if I can find.
I don't know what the flag means.
Flag
7 flags.
It has
Weren't you
7.
ever in color guard? Come on.
I've never not understood. I've been playing 40K for most of my life, and I don't understand a basic picture.
Yeah, so the first one on there, I pulled out a little set of rules. The first one is your movement. That's the arrow. Then
That's
your,
0.
Weapon skill.
0.
Your ballistic skill.
Yeah, which I got that right. Your toughness.
Strength,
right?
Strength is your fisty thing.
Yeah.
Your toughness
Your
is
fisty thing.
Yeah.
fisty thing.
Yes. Okay. And then the blood drops is your wounds, right?
Blood drops are your wounds. The multiple swords are how many attacks you have. The
Which
flag
is
your leadership. And,
oh, it's leadership.
then your save is the
the shield.
whatever the hell it's called, the shield. Yeah.
Obviously, leadership is represented by a flag. How stupid am I?
Very.
How stupid am I?
But we still like you because your TikTok game is on point.
So it hits on 4s, which kind of sucks. But lots of shots, 360-degree range with a 3+ save and 14 wounds. I mean,
Well,
that,
and then
and
how
it
many
can't-
points are you paying for it? You know?
well, according to this, you're paying
I have a codex.
nothing because it doesn't have any value. It doesn't even have the stupid power level anymore in the box. I don't know. That's not the point. The point is I want an army that doesn't move. That's what I want. I'm gonna take some bastions. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the Hammerfall bunker. I'm gonna take my autocannons. I'm gonna take some bastions. I'm gonna take
Some buggies with their wheels off.
some
Yeah.
some
If you
bug.
put the wheels underneath, they might look cooler, like they're from Back to the Future.
Now you get the orc junkyard, and then you put it up like someone's like doing some work on the suspension on the underside, and it's like, oh, we can shoot, but we just can't move.
Uh,
Some detail.
I mean,
Guys,
that
we
would
only
be
got a
fun
couple
to
minutes
do.
left. We got to do a check-in.
all right, I'm done. I finished it. I built both my models.
Show us. Show us.
Okay. Can you see?
Yay! It looks like an angry turtle. It looks like Blastoise.
And then I got my Primaris Tech Marine done.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, he is.
You want to
cute.
see mine?
Yes.
All right. I got Cyclops.
Yep.
Nice.
Hold on. And I got Storm done. And Storm looks real cool.
There's no reason that you couldn't have gotten all 4 done. No reason.
Storm. Look at that.
Storm is storming.
Storm is so cool.
Storm is pretty cool.
Big Aaron, what'd you get done?
So I got a lot of the bases down. Going for, I should probably put the hand behind it, not in front of it. Black helmets. I'm doing black like fingers on the gloves, silver black boots. But it's just all.
Oh, the edging gonna be.
Hold
Is
on.
that silver?
silver.
Hold on,
yeah.
back up. In your shooting phase, each time this model is selected to shoot, its heavy bolter array or its heavy flamer array can target and resolve attacks against every eligible enemy unit.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was an actual rule, if I was just thinking about it. It can shoot everything that it sees.
So if there were 3 squads of Space Marines, the bolters all shoot 3 times, once at each
Yep.
squad.
I believe that is true.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, I'm sorry. Who did I interrupt?
Oh, don't worry about it. That was just me.
Okay, I won't.
And these are your word bearers, right? Right, Aaron?
Yep, the word bearers. So I think I'm getting close on the paint scheme. I think once I finish this guy, I'll know for sure if I like it.
Nice.
I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. And I made you full screen, so you got the full
I got the fullness.
full attention.
set.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. And then lots of scripture, on their armor, because they do bear the words.
And
You should do something really funny like
And Sean, what
like
about you? What'd you
recipes.
finish?
Oh, I'm still
Recipes.
trucking at this thing, man. Anybody who's built a land speeder knows that this is one of the most horrible models ever to assemble. So I'm still working at like cleaning up the gaps and all that fun stuff and really smoothing out the connections. With this guy being a character and not just a standard vehicle, I really am trying to get it to look on point. So there's been I don't know 10 hours of cleaning so far on this thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's stupid. But I've also added a whole bunch of stuff and done a bunch of weird little customization things. So it's going to take me a while longer to get it, built. Particularly these stupid under the wings. That's what I'm having the real like conceptual issue how to fill those out. And the problem is, oops, if you don't break it, you flip it over like this, you can't even see that shit, right?
That-
So I'm trying.
Then why worry about it?
That's why I bought
No,
those.
but I at least need
those
something on the
Forge,
back, right?
Those
So
Forge
like,
World, those Forge
fucking
World
wrong.
land speeders.
Yeah, no,
From a long
the
time
Forge
ago.
World land speeders are fantastic compared to the regular land speeders.
Yeah.
So, but that's where I am. Just keep on trucking away on my build.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an hour and a half. I apologize about that audio problem. I wish I would have realized that sooner, but at least, at least we were all very quiet while Sean was talking, so you had an opportunity to adjust your audio for that section, that half an hour section of Dark Angels. As always, I hope that we are an inspiration, that you are hobbying along with us. It is a nice thing to know that we can all enjoy hobbying together and taking some time to just, think about things that are not our normal day-to-day lives, which is very wonderful in this climate. As always, remember to like and subscribe, hit that bell button for more updates. If you want to join our Discord, you can do so. If you join our Patreon, then you get special status in the Discord. We always love seeing all the projects that are going on. We've got a fairly active hobby community. With updates from the four of us, as well as a bunch of other of our patrons, including some of you who are on right now. So thank you very much for that. And as always,
We will see you on the
TikTok.
Table.
I'm going with TikTok.
Mine was funnier.
You're,
Bye.
you're right.